Hey, what's up there, party people? I just want to make sure I don't have a hole in my crotch. Oh shit, I did it again. I lowered the duty. I lowered the monitor. So this way it doesn't look like I'm looking at you. It looks like I'm looking at the monitor. Whew. Listen, today was a rough day. Last night, well, let me start out by saying, hey there, party people. It's Wednesday night. It's 10 p.m. It's time for the happy hour with Seth. Unfortunately, in my rushing to get down here, I didn't grab White Claws from upstairs. So the only thing the bar has tonight are high noon peach. Any peach in a storm is what I like to say. Oh, thank God. Uh, the huge rip in my pants is a drop below where the camera is. You will notice I have two snares of the day. We'll talk about that. But first, I have to tell you something bizarre. Bizarre. Last night I had a dream. I have a dream. Last night I had a dream that was bizarre. I have very vivid dreams. Very, very vivid dreams. I also remember my vivid dreams. I'm just putting on a little chapstick. Just putting on some Vaseline. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. See, what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. Oh. I couldn't find my headphones. I couldn't find. I have all kinds of shit going on here. Let's move the phone out of town. Okay. The middle of this vivid dream. You know what? I should have shut the phone's Bluetooth. You guys are seeing some craziness tonight. Um, so the here's the craziest part. Shut the Bluetooth. Oh, yeah, you guys see my pin? Okay. Off, and then let's say done, and then say Wi-Fi off. Done. Done. All right. So now we're cooking with gas. Oh, I'm a little button. My minis. So I'm having this dream, and at one point, uh, I don't know if it was. Oh, I do remember it was. All right. So I'm arguing with George W. Bush. Um, I've never met him. I don't know much, much more than anyone else knows about him. But in my dream, I'm arguing with him, and I'm like, "Bro, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind." And he's like, "Oh, it's fuzzy math." So, and then Sean Hannity goes to grab something off the dock, and I'm on a liveaboard. I'm on a houseboat with George W. Bush, Sean Hannity, Bono from U2, Marshall Crenshaw, and that was it, and me. So it was a sausage fest with a bunch of weirdos. So he Sean Hannity goes to grab something, and I have to pull it up in order for him to not get on my boat. He's in the water, and so I pull it up, and when I do, uh, I apparently in real life, in real time, pulled it up because I fell off of my very high bed. Uh, I hit my head right here on the nightstand. Um, I smacked my head into my watch case. So I have a case like to the right of the bed that I keep my watches in. And it's one of those silver Halliburtons. So now it has a big dent in it. Um, and my left leg, my left foot is swollen. I have a hematoma um, at my knee and my thigh, and when I put pressure on my left foot, my whole leg starts to bounce. So it's terrific. Um, I did have I don't know if it's foresight or I remembered that I needed to put a bag of peas on my face because that's what my mom would do. Wherever I had a bruise, not just my face, it was the bag of peas. We had no peas. We had a shitload of chicken nuggets, frozen chicken nuggets. Um, We have some kind of weird frozen shot, like strawberry shots, cherry shots, I don't know, and tons of ice cream. So, once you're in the kitchen, you may as well have a little ice cream. It's delicious. Um, I put peas on my face because I could feel it swelling up. I looked like Rocky, like, "Oh, Adrian." It was so painful, and when I looked at the height of my bed, and everyone always says to me, "Your bed is high." Everyone, the thousands and thousands of people who visit my room. Your bed is high. Oh, I'm scared to sleep in the bed. What if I fall off? Well, no one's ever fallen off. So now I can't say that anymore because it's not truthful because I fell off and uh, it hurt, man. It hurt. My leg today was killing me. On top of all that, I won a unit in uh, New Jersey in somewhere pretty far, not Cranberry, but something like that, something along those lines. And I won it. I bid on it because of this premier Royal Ace, 14-inch by, I think this one's 3.5, or it might be 4. Unbeknownst to me, as Stan and I start digging through the stuff, uh, they had a cat apparently, and I'm not a cat guy. I'm a dog guy. This cat was gross. So there's a beautiful, like, triple recliner couch where all 3 parts can lean back, and, this is unreal, unreal that this, you know what, guys? You can listen along when I say I have a podcast that I'm on right now, so, I'll have to speak with you later. Wow, what else weird can go on? I probably should shut the phone, but you know what? I don't even know how. I don't know how to shut my own phone. So it was in Cran not Cranberry, Cranford, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It was Jersey. It was an hour and 10 minutes away to grab some beautiful drums. I did not know that this Tama, um, staggered lugs, this is it's heavy, a 13 by 5.5, and I'm by no means a Tama expert, but I can tell you that I really, really like this drum, and I'm like, "Oh, great." Uh, so I am going to name this whatever the name of the town I was in, um, and I'll put, like, an I or a Y at the end so it sounds feminine. But, that was so these are the snares of the week. I couldn't find the sticks, which worries me because I keep everything in the same place, and I do want to mention oh, I have my cards here. If I didn't write it down, I wouldn't remember. So I also wrote down what we're going to do. We're going to talk a little about Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, when you're one person, blows. It's not the greatest thing, Valentine's Day. Um, the day after Valentine's Day, best day ever. Half off of candy. Who doesn't love candy? And half off. So I feel like the day after Valentine's Day is my holiday. It should be like Saint Seth Day. Saint Seth Day. You know what? I never followed up with my running for Pope, but I would like to make a toast to the Pope. Why not? He wears a yarmulke. To the Pope. Oh, that's delicious. I hope you guys don't hear the swallowing effect. I said swallow. Um, the other thing that I wanted to just briefly mention this week. Well, we're going to talk about Atlantic City, about the winners, about the losers. Let me tell you something. Even when you win, you lose. I, uh, I'll show you some paperwork. Apparently, there's government paperwork that I fill out. Um, and also, we're going to talk about would you date a stripper or like a retired stripper or, someone who worked in the adult industry or maybe a retired gigolo. or a retired gigolo or um, uh, uh, an escort, female or male escort. This is open for everyone. This is open for everyone. Um, you know, I mean, they were in movies. This is what they did for a living. But before we do that, I do want to mention someone who passed, an actor. You all know Robert Duvall, probably best known for Apocalypse Now. This saddened me. This saddened me a lot. He just seemed like, a good guy, a cowboy, and he brought to movies like a very staid character. And people say The Godfather, Apocalypse Now. I'm a car guy, so I can't believe I'm getting choked up over him. I loved him in Days of Thunder. Uh, Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise. He's very handsome. He's very handsome. Um, he's into Scientology. So is L. Ron Hubbard. Huh. So Robert Duvall in Days of Thunder, I thought was amazing. Um, he just every role he played, I feel like he brought the character to life in front of you. And I know that's his job and that's what they do. I just think he was an amazing actor. From what I heard, like no one had a bad word to say about him. He's not like a De Niro where people are like, "Oh, that guy's a dick. That guy's this. That guy's that." You know, he's not like an Alec Baldwin where they're like, "Oh, he punched a reporter." It was all good things you heard about him. So my thoughts go out, Robert Duvall. That one really hurt. Someone asked on Facebook, who's what celebrity death really affected you? And I was thinking, I can't think of any that really have. You feel bad. Someone dies, you feel bad. If you don't, then I don't know. Then maybe maybe you're heartless. You have a black soul, not a black soul like Aretha Franklin. She's got soul, man. Ooh, Aretha. But a black soul like you're bad. You're bad. So, Robert Duvall, rest in peace. He really brought a lot to the movies. I was watching some old Western, some shitty Western, and he was in it, and he was amazing. It was either the Virginian, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Also for him, he was a cowboy. So I should have been a cowboy. Oh, that's a Toby Keith song. Um, I just so would you date a an adult actor or actress? I went out with someone recently who I don't know if she's famous because I feel like they make like 50 movies in a week. No, they shoot a lot of they shoot a lot. Oh, they shoot a lot. So it's like, and I mean, they supposedly are tested and practice safe sex, but the girl is very sweet. And could I see dating her full time? Probably. But then, like my friend John asked me, doesn't it bother you that, that people have seen her naked? People have seen her, having sex. And so doesn't that bother you? And I thought it would, and it doesn't. Like we first went out, we hung out, and it was hanging out. It was nothing more than that. So the question of would you? Uh, I talked to Bobby about this because I said, I think next week I'm going to open up the phone lines, quote unquote. It's really going to be my cell phone. It will show the number, not tonight. We'll show the number, and I'm going to ask a different question, and we'll see if the two people watching want to reply or want to call. That's great. I'm also in the planning stage, and I talked about this, and I've gotta get it done before my 1-year mark. I'm gonna have one of England's top psychics on. She is phenomenal. I shouldn't have put that fan on because now I'm starting to feel it. She's phenomenal, and, she's told me things I never thought that was, like, my go-to or that was, you know I didn't know if it was real. I know people feel it's real. I since have, had experiences that there's no question it's real. I've seen friends who have deceased husbands, and there's they appear in photos, uh, uh, just all kinds of stuff. Um, this psychic told me things that my mother had said to me that no one knows. Things my father had said to me that no one knows. And we did it by Zoom, Skype, FaceTime. I think FaceTime we did it by. And it was like, it was an emotional roller coaster. And I know that sounds like a cliche, but in the words of my old friend Jeff Suffren, cliches are cliches for a reason. I think my face does look very swollen. But even my arms, my hands today, I fell out of a bed that's this high. It's like nipple level. I would say my bed is probably yeah, maybe about here, about there. So I keep a little step stool next to it to get in and out of bed because it's a high bed. The mattress is like the size of Jersey, so maybe not that big, but the mattress is yeah, maybe it is the size of New Jersey. Maybe like the Jersey Shore area. So, the Atlantic City deal was kind of spur of the moment. I really wanted to go because your points are only valid for a certain amount of time. My points would expire at the end of this month. And the more that you play, I think the more that I lose. They offer me, you know, comped rooms, steak dinners, uh free spins, all kinds of shit, and it's not because 'cause I'm a winner. This is what I walked into, that little meal, and, this was as soon as that meal was as soon as I walked in. It was phenomenal. This, was as soon as I think it was my first spin, $375. Now, but it was a gold spin, so there was a multiplier. I wanna say it was maybe 1,400 bucks. Listen, I wound up putting the majority of it back in, um, but I had some back-to-back hits, and they say, "Oh, if you play big" like this was, Wheel of Fortune uh, outside on the floor. I was on my way to the high limit slots, on my way, and I didn't have the willpower to make it all the way in. I like Wheel of Fortune. Um, Years ago, my uncle Pete told me, and I'm not going to do the voice, but he said to me, "Listen, if you're going to waste your money, sit on an aisle, play a loud machine with a lot of lights." So I said, "Why?" He said, "Because then it gives the illusion that people are winning." What I did notice with this is you go max bet $10 and it'll say that you won. And when you look at what you won $9. So there's bells and whistles and all kinds of shit, but you're oh, you're a winner. The machine constantly says, "You're a winner." You're not a winner. You put in 10, you get back 9 and a bunch of lights. You're a loser. I'm a loser. I'm a big loser. However, when you hit, um, I usually give it 2 or 3 more times to see if I hit again, and then I get the hell out of Dodge. You could see I went all the way down from whatever the other to this, but then I hit 165. Every time I said I was gonna cash out, every time I would hit, and I was like, "This is bizarro. This is bizarro." It made no sense. Um, there was I had a couple of big wins, this being the first one. I literally was down to my uh, final couple of credits, and I said, "Fuck it. I wanna go upstairs. I'm gonna watch Spinal Tap 2, The End Is Near," or whatever it's called. Um, so I bet 25 bucks and I did maximum credits, which is 2, 50 bucks. And when you lose $50 on one spin, when I lose $50 on one spin, I want to kill myself. Okay. I want to hang myself. It's 50 bucks. I fucking work hard for my money and I'm sticking it in a machine and pulling a lever. So I said, this is it. When the money runs out, I may as well raise it to 25. I'll get upstairs faster. I hit for 4 grand. And 2 spins later, I hit on the same machine, um, for, 13.75. So, it's like, huh. The other thing that I do is I cash out, get the cash, and I put back some of it, not all of it. So, that way it keeps me, like the 4 grand, you can see I kept 2 grand, put 2 in the machine. Every time I went to get up, I would hit something. And what's really messed up is that I just kept putting it upstairs in the safe because I knew I'd put it back in. And, there's a song it plays, and I'm, like, dancing along with the song, and everyone's, like, giving me high fives, and the waitress comes over, "Would you like a White Claw?" "Sure, honey, this is for you." 20 bucks. "Here, 20 bucks." The guy who brings you the money, you gotta take care of him. He just brought you money. So, it's just, it's almost like a board game or some kinda game where the money is just it's like you treat it like Monopoly money, and it's not. It's cash. It's hard-earned cash. So, it's anything over 2,000 is hand pay and, hand pay required. They also give you, tax papers. So I have this stack of tax papers that it's like, "Are you kidding me?" Um, and then when you go to leave, you have tax papers for 20 grand and you have 5,000 bucks or 3,000 or whatever, but you have tax papers for 20,000 bucks. So obviously they know that you put money back in, but with the cards, with the player cards, what's messed up is that you can see what you did in a day because 'cause it'll say today's, points, and I think 1 point is $1. What I just realized right now is that there were promotions where you got 3 times the points, 5 times the points. Thank God, because I was like, I didn't put 42 grand in the machine. It was 5 times the points. So, whew, thank God. But, I try to always bring my money upstairs, put it in the safe, and keep my original. I went with, 750 bucks. And I said, if it lasts me a night, it lasts me a night. And but then you hit as soon as you go in, you feel like you can't lose. That's the worst. I would have been better off not hitting because, then you take it easy at least. Uh, so I just found what I'm looking for. So, it's my father used to say that they don't build these hotels and bring people there for nothing. They do it because essentially, you know, the house wins. The house always wins. And there were promos. Um, I had I would get a text message telling me that they just credited me for $100 at Il Molino or at Charter Oak Steakhouse. I had the most unbelievable sushi one night, and it's just comped, comped, comped because then you feel like you're the king, so you just spend the money. It's it's crazy, and I always say, "Oh, I'm not a gambler. I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble." Um, And then when I do, I love it. I l the when you're out at a craps table and you're rolling dice and you're doing well and people are cheering for you, um, it's awesome. And, I'm a performer. I'm a drummer. I sing. I have a podcast that's watched by tens of people throughout the world. So it's, it's that kind of rush where people are like, "Yeah, yeah." And then you throw one shitty roll and people are like, "You suck." And, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you." It's one of those situations. So, it was just a lot of fun. Coming up March 7th is Rod Stewart. I saw him, last year in March for the first time that I've ever seen him. It was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. He is amazing. His whole band is amazing. They are great. Um, one of his definitely one of his most well-known songs, "Do You Think I'm Sexy," was co-written by Carmine Appice, his drummer. A little fun fact for you, a little music trivia. So that was another thing I wanted to do is music trivia on the show. So stay tuned for that. We also are coming up on a year. As much as I would like to do a year remotely because I keep saying I wanna do some remote, happy hours with Seth, you saw how well it worked on the cruise where, you couldn't hear me because I was out in, like, a lobby area. I was on the promenade level, and, uh, and you couldn't hear me because everything in that ship echoes like you're on a ship. So, that was kinda messed up. So, it to take it live, it's not moving stuff, it's not the effort to do that, it's that would have been a great show. I should probably take out the notes from that show and just redo it for my year show because that was a great show, and you can't hear the audio. You cannot hear the audio. Um, so Valentine's Day, I went out, for dinner for Japanese food at the casino, and they bring me, like, a bottle of wine. I'm alone at a table. They put down, like, 2 appetizers. So, you don't wanna be rude, you eat them both. But I said to the waitress, "Would you like to sit down? Because 'Cause I'm alone." So she said, "Oh, I can't believe that." I said, "Talk to me for 5 minutes and you'll believe it." I sent I sent, uh I sent Bobby a couple of Valentine's memes, and I think it got screwed up, but I'm not positive if it got screwed up. So before we even get into that, I would like to thank my sponsors. First being Larry Scott Pro Gear. Larry, I picked up a load of drums today that has a lot of stuff you might be interested in. Good stuff. Good stuff. That unit today really was a surprise. And Go Granny Racing. Go Granny Racing. Uh, there is so much, the horses. She had a winner the other night, Boom Chicka Boom. Um, and I can't remember the horse that ran the other night. I do want to grab those receipts before the end of the show. Um, so Go Granny Racing, you guys saw when the horse gave birth, ironically, to a horse. It was crazy. And I feel like, uh, she has a wealth of knowledge and, the horses are, they're trotters. So they pull oh my god, they pull that little chariot cart thing called a sulky. It's called a sulky, and, it's just very cool. There's a whole science behind it like there is with anything, like any sport. So, we're gonna have her on, and you know what? Maybe we'll call her trainer that night and check on the horsies. Maybe we can look at them live. Uh, one of them is hung like a horse, but I digress. Who doesn't love All American Burger? In fact, Stan and I were talking about it today because I was gonna call. He wouldn't eat it because today is apparently um, Ash Wednesday. So I kind of feel bad because uh, I didn't have ashes. I would I would like go out to the barbecue behind my house and put a Jewish star with ashes on my forehead, but I think that people might get offended. People, get offended very easy when it comes to like Jesus stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I don't want to offend anyone. Um, you know, I'm offensive enough. So, and of course, right across the lot is Marshall's ice cream. You can put it up. Oh my God, now I want ice cream so bad. You should order the Seth, and what the Seth is, it's chocolate and vanilla swirl with rainbow sprinkles, and the tip is dipped in chocolate, just the tip. The theme song to the Happy Hour with Seth is also called Just the Tip. So it's funny, it carries over that way. You know, I it's funny. When I say it's funny, I'm thinking, I wonder if they think it's funny or if only I think it's funny. But what do I know, people? What do I know? I got the nose going, I got the eye going. Today it's both on the right side. So Marshall's ice cream bar, order the Seth. You won't be sorry. You will not be sorry. So the big question remains, if I did send in the Valentine's memes, um, I'm not sure if I did. I What happens is I send stuff in late. I know it seems like I'm so prepared for this. I have index cards with jokes and the jokes I think of in the middle of the night, I write down. And then when I see the jokes, I'm like, I can't say that. That's vile. So and when I was talking about the porn stars, I did wanna ask the question, if you guys know, uh, it's better if Stan's here. This is almost like having Stan here. Stan, I love you, I'm kidding. Uh, what fucks like a champion and winks? So, that's a slightly visual joke. Uh, then I have a couple about grandma. I can't do it on Ash Wednesday. I'll do it on fucking Holy Thursday. No, I'm kidding. So I kind of write stuff down during the night, and some of it'll be just obscure shit. Rod Stewart, March 7th. Okay. Um, Jokes in the sleep. Rabbi at the door. That's Stan's big hit song. Um, Pee too much, 2 a.m. I don't, I, I don't understand what that even is. I'm a mess here, people. I have boogers. Pee too much. But then this one says bacon, sausage, and mushrooms. Fruit platters delicious. Small or large coffee. Oh, and there's my room key. Here, let me give you my room key, honey. Uh, so, like, that's what I do in the middle of the night. No wonder I fell out of my bed and almost killed myself. It was almost a murder suicide of myself. Oh, now you could see. I know, sexy, right? Um, I have fat knees. I have fat knees. So I also sent a couple of videos. And then the other thing is that, like, I'll send in all this obscure shit at these obscure times. So I don't know. Do we have either my Valentine's memes or a video or the load? Hey, so this is pretty cool. I just walked into my room in the Hard Rock in Atlantic City. Nice little setup. As long as it's a king size bed and it's firm, I don't give a shit. But look what's on. Carmine. I shouldn't say Carmine. I should name all of you guys. It's pretty cool. So that was like as soon as I walk in. So, you know, I felt like that would be lucky for me. Like, oh look, you know, one of my favorite bands is on. I don't know. Let's put up another vid. So no good deed goes unpunished. I got a storage unit.
Is there another license?
Yes. I saw a New York license in here. No, there definitely was. It definitely was in with that, unless it's in with this. Oh, I don't know. There definitely was. But I don't know if it was a Freeport address. It might have been a Baldwin address. And then when I Googled them, it was a Bronx address.
But do you know where that?
It was in this envelope for sure, wherever this bag was. Wherever they took that out of, that's where it was. Yeah, so this unit was filled with uniforms and training stuff and ammunition and shit like that. So I immediately called Freeport Police because the unit's in Freeport, and I said that I got a unit that is filled with all kinds of shit, and I don't know what to do with it. So of course now everyone who drives by thinks that I'm like some mastermind criminal, but it's definitely something of concern. We'll see what happens. That was not the video that I meant, so I probably sent the wrong shit. But that made me laugh. That was pretty funny because, like, I'm some master criminal with all the. I felt like with all the uniforms, I could pull off a heist. And then I read that um, wearing a government uniform, if you're not in that position, is like 7 years in the joint. I spent 3 days. Um, I spent 3 days being a guest of Nassau County on an error, and that sucked. I never cried so much. I didn't know I could cry so much. I was pretty hysterical. Um, yeah, I cried a lot. The guy who was my cellmate was like, "Yo, brother, pull it together, pull it together." And the cuisine in East Meadow is horrific. Just saying. A lot of Cheerios. Curious, a lot of Cheerios. I couldn't get skim milk. I asked for an omelet. Um, they brought me a bologna and cheese sandwich that only had a slice of each. A slice of each is not exactly, you know, filling. So, and crying takes a lot of energy. And that's what I cried a lot. I cried a lot. Also, there's no clock, so you don't really have any idea of the time. And my cellmate hated me. He said I snored, um, and that I cried a lot. So then I felt bad and I cried. It was a whole disaster. But and I'm the biggest supporter of law enforcement. That was a little discouraging. But yeah, I did 3 long in the joint, um, 3 days. It was brutal. It was brutal. So a life of crime is not for me, because you can get caught, and if I get caught, then I'd be back in the saddle. Terrible. So, like I said, this I believe is 49. I'm just making sure we don't go over. I tend to run too close to the limit. This is number 49. Uh, so we have 3 more, 2 more before our, uh, gala event. Gala. Gala or gala? On my notes, I actually have, is Valentine's Day, should Valentine's Day, uh, apostrophe or no apostrophe S? That's when we need the phone lines. Should it have an apostrophe S? Should it not? I do it with an apostrophe S because it's the day that belongs to Valentine, thus making it Valentine's Day. I should have put the flashing multicolored lights behind me or next to me because they're a tremendous distraction for me, but then maybe they'd be a distraction for you. By the 1 year show, I will have this down. I'll have it down cold. Down cold. So on the cards are every filthy joke that I've ever heard. Stan told me all these jokes today, and my right hearing aid wasn't working. So I couldn't really hear him when we were driving. And also because I was in a lot of pain from the fall out of bed. Pardon me, I just belched. From the fall out of bed, I was in brutal, brutal pain. I'm very uncomfortable right now. And I thought about having Bobby or Jacqueline do just repeat a show. Uh, but that's not right. That's not right. You know, I have tens of viewers who tune into the happy hour with Seth every Wednesday night at 10. Additionally, you should check out my YouTube channel. It's www.youtube.com/at SethRock1. So, there's going to be a code up on the screen. It'll be in the upper right. I also have it on right over my left nipple. So if you don't see it on the screen and you want the QR code, come on over right over my left nipple. I am wearing that's my, it's left on the screen, but it's really my right. This is my left. Oh, look, my ninny is hard. This is my Cadillac of Las Vegas shirt. So there's the QR code. You can scan it, and then it's actually to Quick Walk, so you can order. No, I'm kidding, but I should have a green room and catering. You know what? Next week I'm ordering a pizza while we're on the air, and we'll see. We'll see what the pizza guy does. I also was thinking, like when it warms up, I have a great barbecue behind the house that's like made of bricks. I guess it's a brick barbecue is what I call it. We can do the show out there. I have from one of my storage units a little rolling bar. I think it says beach bar on it. Anthony's beach bar. So thank you, Anthony, because we're going to use it. If anyone needs a triple reclining lazy boy couch, it's almost this color tan, like this color. I don't know if that was the original color or if it's dirty or what, but it's in really good shape. Trying to think what else I have from the unit that you can have. Just let me know because I'm going to put it at the curb for Friday. But there's the couch. There are these weird rattan chairs, and there's a pair of them, a matching pair. So, you know, it'll all be at the curb if no one claims it, if no one wants it. There's some gross clothes. After the happy hour with Seth, I'm going to run to the laundromat. Celebrity lifestyle, pretty cool. I'll be the guy with the Escalade with the trailer on the back, the U-Haul. And that's how you know it's me and not someone else whose license plate is Seth Rock. So yeah, so we're going to order a pizza next week, and I will give you the exact date for the psychic. For the psychic, it'll be the psychic and the psychotic. I feel like that'll work out. It'll kind of balance out. Nothing with the Gypsy Felons this week, but there's a lot of music this week. I saw Sherry's scene. She posts like the weekend music with events. and the dates and the locations, and there's a lot of good stuff. I was thinking Friday night, I'm torn because I wanna go close to home. It's very difficult because when you have Club 4006 in your house, it's like, I don't even wanna leave sometimes. So we are, getting near the end. I didn't go through everything on the cards. I'm very uncomfortable, because of the whole falling out of bed. Maybe I need those rails like a the elderly and the infirmed. Oh my god, I have hospital beds in the garage, brand new, 2 or 3 of them. So if anyone wants to I could have the 4006 ward up upstairs in the extra room. I like that, and we could get, like, old signs about tuberculosis. Well, now I have something to do the next few days. So guys, be good, see the good, be the good, smile at strangers. Um, one of 2 things, they either smile back or it pisses them off. So either way, you're a tremendous winner. Tremendous winner. And, next week, we're gonna finish these cards. We're gonna order a pizza, finish cards, order pizza. I'm gonna have the monitor at the correct height, uh, and I think we're gonna try a couple of calls and see what happens. I'll ask a random question, does your toilet paper go like a beard or like a mullet? I do it like a beard because beards are cool. Mullets are not cool. Bi-level. When I had one, I used to say, "It's not a mullet, it's a bi-level." It's a mullet. It's a mullet no matter how you slice it. I'm going to take a very hot bath and see if it makes me feel better. Um, if anyone knows how to fix a very dented Halliburton, you could see it's my head. The shape of this melon is in the case. And with that said, see, the problem is I can't see. I I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. With that said, guys, be good, see the good, be the good. Every Wednesday night at 10, same Seth time, same Seth channel for the happy hour with Seth. Have a great week, guys.